Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Break, where in 15 minutes or less, I will show you a card or project that you can make at home. Cheers! Enjoy your coffee break. My name is Sandy McManus, and you may find me at needsaribbon.com. And today, I'm going to share with you not a card. Surprised? Yeah, me too. No, I'm just kidding. I've actually had this queued up to do for quite some time. We're going to make this little adorable box, which can hold, you could put a little notepad in there. It'll hold, I have 4 cards here that are not too flat. I mean, you certainly, yep, you could put 5 or 6 cards in there and gift that. Maybe put a cello bag over it. There's lots you could do with this. This idea, I must give credit where credit is due, was originally a Karen Titus Stampin' on the Back Porch box. Apparently it was hers and hers alone. And I'm borrowing the idea because I think I love sometimes the simpler things. Stamping doesn't always have to be complicated, and it doesn't always have to include stamping. And this little box has, at this point, 0 stamping on it. Now, you certainly could stamp a thank you, on a little label or something. You certainly could add some stamping, but right now it includes 0 stamping. So let's get started. So this Stammer City. It uses an entire sheet, a standard size A4 sheet of cardstock. And we're going to cut and score. Score first, then cut. And to do that, you can either use our new Stampin' trimmer, which has the score or the cut, or you can use our Simply Scored. No, that's not what it's called. It's our score tool. And I bet not all of it's on the camera. Simply Scored. It is called the Simply Scored. Either will work. And remember, with our Simply Scored, it has marks every 1/8 inch. So that's kind of the beauty of it. And it has, you can see some diagonal grooves too. I actually have, we don't sell that anymore, but I have the plate that will do that. So I think for today, we're just going to use our trimmer. Now, I'm sorry if some of it is off camera. Excuse me while I reach across the screen. And it's okay. We're gonna actually, if you don't know, if you do have our trimmer, I'm all for-shimbled now, and I'm probably gonna go over 15 minutes now. There is a little notch toward the bottom here where you can I'm going to pull the scoring thing out. Wow, that's full of hair all of a sudden. Ooh, that probably should be replaced anyway. So I don't accidentally cut instead of score. So I'm going to use this, and I will have, much like my other coffee break videos, I will have the recipe at the end. Right now it is just roughly written out. And if you can see, the top line is for the width, the short width of the paper, and the bottom one is the length. I'm going to do the length first. In fact, I probably should have popped my camera up higher. I'm going to pull the whole blade out, and those score marks are not looking right. Okay, well, we're going with it. 2, 3, 9, actually, yeah, it does. 10. I'm just all turned around on the box is all. So I've got my score marks going the long ways of the paper. Now let's score the short ways. We're going to go 1, I believe it's 2. So right now what we're making is one of the sides. 6.5 and 7.5. And again, what that does, I'm done with my trimmer, I believe. So what that does is it gives a 1-inch side on with a finished edge, so it's double the cardstock. So it it's sturdier. So then we're going to go in on the short way, and my little diagram here doesn't show it very good. We're going to cut up to our interior score line on that side. Cut. Cut. And see, this makes the nice big flap on the top. Kind of the finished flap. Cut. And then nobody's going to see these, so you don't have to be terribly straight. I would recommend, though, get some longer scissors. The snips, while wonderful sharp scissors, a longer scissor will give you a more precise cut in this case. So, given my diagram, this is my top, this is my top, this is my top. So I have to go in and remove these two outer pieces, as it were. Do the same. Actually, it'd be easier for me. I can still see the score lines a little bit. My studio lights. Oops, that was crooked, but nobody gonna see it. Nobody but me. Here's some garbage. And then on the bottom, you can see we remove 3 of the squares on the bottom. So we remove, I made this initially a long time ago, so the smart person probably would have redone this ahead of time before filming, but nobody ever said I was that smart. Anyway, but this is a really fun box. I know once I got the hang of this the first time I made it, wow, look at that. That's pretty bad. We're going to leave it. It's actually really easy. It's just, I'm out of touch because it's been a while. So here is, I think now that I've shown you that, I think to save some time on the video, because you get how to cut and score, I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to show you one that I've already taped. Or should I show you the taping? Let's show you the taping. So I'm going to use tear and tape because tear and tape is wonderful. We have since I've started this idea, have come out with some other tapes. And let's go ahead and let's grab a bone folder. Really does, you don't have to, but Sandy's magic box of weird tools that I keep nearby. I just think it gives a more finished edge. Let's go ahead and burnish those. Again, when it comes to box assembly and it's staying closed, it just, when you burnish the edges when you're making a 3D item, you know, something that requires scoring, it really just does stay together. Because otherwise, if you don't burnish, it will work, but that tape might fight against that non-burnished edge a little bit. So it doesn't take long anyway. Okay, yep. Those little tabs, and this. And then we can put our bone folder away. If you don't have a bone folder in your arsenal of tools, get one today. Make sure I'm still on camera. Yes. Okay, so we're going to go with, this is this is the top. Actually, what this is you're looking at the interior of the box right now. I guess we can just put that there. And so you're going to want to run, actually, I'm sorry, one tip, these little tabs, since they're what's going to hold the box together, just take a few seconds and trim those. Your box will fold closed better. They don't have to be pretty. They don't have to be precise. But just trim, just do a tiny little like 1/16 inch angle trim to those, and it's just gonna flow together better. So I will again have a better recipe than my you see how I'm just trimming just a tiny, it's probably more like a 32nd of an inch, but just a little bit off so that those corners have a more finished and squared look. Okay, I believe I am done. Did I do that side? I did not do the, yep, I did that one. Okay, doesn't matter. So here's the other thing. Okay, let me stop. This is a really scrambled video and I'm really apologizing for that. So a couple things. At this point you can decorate your box with DSP or you can do it on the finished thing. My recommendation, I just find it's easier to work with a flat object. So I'm going to go ahead and decorate mine now because I just find that easier. Yep. Actually, let me get this. Make sure I'm oriented correctly. So for the base, this part, I'm just doing a sheet. I'm using shimmer white. And I'm going to leave it 3 square toward this is the bottom of the box. Square toward that. I just used a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet of paper. You could go a tiny bit longer and get all the way up to the top of the box, but nobody is ever going to see in there. And since this cuts into 1/4 of a sheet easier, my recommendation is just do that. Don't try and have it all pretty up underneath here because it's going to hide anyway. Okay, and so now that is the interior. So now we are working with the outside of the box. So I have some paper, and again, you could do this after if it's too hard to kind of figure out what's top and bottom and right and left and all that. This is going to be this piece that goes up there. So to kind of orient you, you're going to come over like this. So I want this. Yes, we'll go with that. It doesn't matter. I'm using DSP that's retired at this point. But any DSP, and again, recipe at the end because you're going to need that. Unless you can magically figure this out as I'm doing it. But the bottom line of really what it is you score in 1 inch and 2 inches on 3 sides of your cardstock, and then at 2 inches and 3 inches from one of the short edges tops. So you get that nice big, you could score in just 1 inch and have just a 1 inch flap here. But that's the gist of it. It's actually pretty simple once you kind of get moving on it. Yeah, did I do all? I did. Okay, I'm going to use, I don't remember what my original intention was. Doesn't matter. So, yep, again, measurements. And these are just decorating the outside edges. And again, when I made this one, I did this after I assembled it. But how about do as I say, not as I did? And I'm probably at 15 minutes now. I don't know. I'm sorry if this coffee break goes a little bit longer. It's not been as fluid as I normally have done, but I feel that this is a really cute project. Again, Karen Titus, Stampin' on the Back Porch, originally did this, and I've kind of taken it and made it a little bit mine. And one more piece, and then I'll be done with the glue even, I think. And again, these would be great gifts. It'd be a great like party. Well, in the era of COVID, you know, not a lot of people get together, but in the other world, it would be a great, you know, I think I'm done with that for now. So we're gonna adhere our tear and tape, and let's get moving a little quicker. So I'm gonna just go by my model here. And again, this probably is not gonna be the prettiest box because this paper was originally cut to use on there, and that's okay. So we're working with the interior of the box right now. And yes, I probably should have my tape go all the way like I did on here. It'll still hold together. Now I'm going to flip, and this is the exterior of the box. So I'm going to flip my little sample over, and that's really only for the top piece. And we'll just put two little pieces here. Yep, I am on camera. Just want to make sure. It would not behoove anyone to be off camera with this. So again, my apologies that this goes over the 15 minutes, but I feel it's worth it. And it should have been a 15-minute video had I been a little more prepared. Okay, we are done with our little sample one. And I don't know. Yes, this is my recommendation. Again, I started this at least 6 months ago. Actually, I think it was back in January. So we want to go, and we can fold that out of the way. And bring those flaps up. And once you get the first side in, you can see how it just gets a lot easier. And get that. And by having those 2 layers of the cardstock, I've made boxes without the 2 layers. They do work. They just are a little more flimsy. So I will wrap this up quickly. And then to give it a more finished look, this one gets tucked in instead of, and I better hurry because I know I'm past 15 minutes. And get that tear and tape. A little scissor would help too. That would be my timer that I'm way past 15 minutes. Stop. Done. Stop. Sorry about that. So I would, to push this in, I would fold those flaps in, put it in, and then reach in with your fingers so your corners are squared up. Now to decorate, on this one, I put a little of our retired, this is Mossy Meadow twine, and frayed it to give it kind of the green, and then the daisy punch. And through the magic of television, I've already stamped with our daisy punches. And then we could put a little, again, these are all retired products, but that doesn't matter. You get what I mean. You could put, you know, you could run a ribbon around here like this and finish it off with just a bow. You know, something like that, and then add that. You could add a little greeting like hello, thinking of you, something like that. But isn't that just awesome? I think this is a really cute little project. And again, it would be fun, you know, come the holidays, if you like to gift cards, especially for like shut-ins that can't get to the store or don't make cards. But there you go. That is my idea for a one sheet box, one sheet card box, we'll call it. You certainly could put little notepads in there. There's other things you could put in there. I can't remember if there is, if this is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you could put a 4x6 notepad in there. The kind that you can sometimes you can find in bulk, even like a 5-pack at Target or whatever. So there's lots of uses for this. Anyway, that is my first non-card coffee break. Cheers. I hope you have enjoyed this extended coffee break, and I hope it inspires you to make something fun and different today. Thank you for joining me. www.needsaribbon.com, Sandy McManus. Bye.